So what type of advice would you give someone dealing with, this that doesn't have that type of business or that connect that you have? Like, what would you tell them? Like, what 3 things would you give them for advice to prevent from dealing with counterfeit shoes and rip-offs?
Okay, I would say the 3 things: research, and more research. And
Big Sean,
right.
Big Sean.
So what I mean by research is make sure that you're researching the person that you're doing business with.
Mm-hmm.
Check to see if they have a website. Check to see if they have reviews on their website. Check to see if you know anyone who's done business with them before. Get their perspective on it. In addition to that, make sure that the payment is a secure payment where if something goes wrong, you can get your money back. So with PayPal, there's 2 forms to send money, either through a PayPal invoice or you PayPal gifted. PayPal gift is supposed to be basically when you're sending money to friends and family and people you know. And a lot of scammers, what they'll do is they'll tell you to save money instead of doing an invoice, which the buyer's protected to gift the money. If you gift the money, you can't get that money back. PayPal won't be able to give you the money back. But if you do an invoice, if something goes wrong, you're able to get your money back. And a lot of individuals, when they sell through eBay, it's going through eBay and PayPal. So make sure you are, you're protected with your sale, know who you're doing business with, and make sure you do research on the shoe too. So once it comes in, you can check to see, hey, is the stitching off? Is there something wrong? You're able to have that knowledge so you know what you're getting.
That's deep, man. I don't know. Like, when I got counterfeit LeBrons, I was pissed, and it was from Florida. I bought them off of eBay. I thought I was the man. I was wearing them. I was like,
how you
something
know
ain't
that's
right,
counterfeit?
because they was squeaking. And, like, the feel when you put your foot in the shoe didn't feel like a normal shoe. It felt like it had like a wood feel type. You know what I'm saying? When you moving, your knee, not your knee, but your toes is rubbing and it's burning.
It's not that
like
same.
It's not comfortable. It doesn't feel like a LeBron or Jordan shoe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that the hard way, but that's off the record.
And
that's off the record.
That's tough because that's something. Anytime where you're dealing with something that's a high commodity item, there's a lot of counterfeits. So you have to be very careful because now I got to the point where I know the ins and outs of the shoes that I sell. So I can tell you, okay, if you're wearing something, I can tell you how it should feel, how it should look, how the stitching should be. Because I've been able to become a sneakerologist because you want to know your product, you want to know what you sell.
Sneakologist, yeah, professional.
So go a little bit deeper into that. What goes into making sure a shoe is authentic? You know what I'm saying? Like what do you need to know as far as to know if that shoe is real?
There's actually when I first started off, what I would do to kind of do comparisons was YouTube videos. There's a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of famous people in the sneaker world that do comparisons, fake versus real. Fake Education is actually on Instagram, where he actually does comparisons for all the different shoes, different sneakers.
So do people like that just buy counterfeits just to show people?
Yes,
like,
actually,
wow.
it's because it's a high commodity item. So now, Fake Education, what he does is he actually purchases fake shoes to show, to compare them to the real shoes, to see what you need to look for, such as the stitching from the midsole, the inside, the shoe tag, making sure that the shoe tag in the inside is correct with the box. So there's a lot that goes into it. But the main thing that I tell people how you can tell if a shoe is real is if you smell it, especially with the shoe smell. It's like a significant shoe smell when it comes to brand new shoes. And also matching up the UPC code on the inside to the box. And also if you're able to have a receipt, provide a receipt, that can also help as well.
That's cool. So what because Zeke Sneaks is 100% authentic, what makes it different from all the other sneaker sellers that do the same thing? Like what makes Zeke Sneaks so different? Makes them better?
What makes Zeke Sneaks so different is that there's different resale shops, consignment shops across the country, and there's a lot of different resellers that you can find on Instagram. But what makes Zeke Sneaks different is we specialize in customer interaction. That's the main thing. We put our customers first. Most of my customers, anytime they need me, anytime they have a shoe question, I make sure to answer them at that point in time. I try to get to them as soon as possible. And that's why I learned that, people like doing business with people that they like.
Right.
So the whole story of how I started from my dorm room, and from starting off with taking 4 shoes and having a picture out of my dorm room to now, seeing the growth where now I have 40 to 100 pairs of each release.
Wow.
Customers
That's a lot
really,
of fucking shoes.
yeah, so what I've learned is that I make it a little bit more personal. A lot of people who get to my level or even a little bit higher, they kind of feel like they're above other people, but I feel like we're all even. We're all on even playing fields, and I don't let that stardom or anything like that get to my head.
Right.
I treat every customer the same, whether you're a high school student to one of the business owners that I do business with, or one of my NFL clients. Everybody's treated the same. Pricing is the same. There's no favoritism involved.
So how did you end up building your customer base?
Well, my customer base, it all started just from Instagram. I remember I started my Instagram page March of 2015. I started from 20 followers, and I was thinking to myself, okay, like, how am I going to do this? So what I started doing was every time that I had a shoe sale, I would put 3 of my business cards in the shoebox. And what I've learned is that word of mouth is key. A lot of my customers, we've been able to build that customer relationship where they tell all their friends about the shoes that they got. Or, they'll be walking down the street and say, oh, where did you get your shoes from? Oh, I got it from Zeke Sneaks. Hit them up. So just from customer shout outs, that's really has been helpful.
Yeah, I had the 14s you had gave me. I went to Florida with them, and one of the dudes that was in the line, I was at Universal Studios, and the dude was like, hey man, where you get your shoes? They didn't even have them out there where I live at. I'm like, man, I got them from one of my plugs out in Ohio. He was like, oh shoot, you got his number? I was like, yeah. But I had my phone in the locker at the time, because at certain rides you can't have nothing in your pockets. I was like, he was salty. He was like, man, them shoes is dope. I'm like, yeah, man, I got the plug.
So I heard you say we. So is there a team?
Yes, actually, Zeke Sneaks is not just me. I actually got my family involved.
Oh wow!
It's so funny because when I first started my business, I was doing everything from picking up shoes, purchasing shoes. I was a one-man show, but as I started growing, I saw the need that I need help. And what better not is to have my family involved, where it became kind of like a family business. Thank you. So my younger siblings, they help out with like packaging the shoes and shipping the shoes. So
that's cool.
My youngest sister is 9 years old, and she can tell you basically the ins and outs and logistics of shipping shoes and how to make sure the box is wrapped properly.
Kids are the best.
Yes,
for real.
Quickly.
They free too.
So and the incentive for no free labor, but incentive for them.
He's grimy over here.
Excuse us, government. Please don't say it.
It's all good.
Please don't shut it down.
The incentive for them is basically I'll buy them new shoes because they all play basketball.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get them new shoes or
that's cool.
Something like that, just to show I appreciate you helping me out. And then my cousins, they're involved too with helping with the business and going to the different sneaker shows that we go to across the country. And
what's some of them?
So Stark Got Soul was a local one. So we try to make it to a couple local, regional, and also the national sneaker con, Soho, Exchange, those different ones as well.
So what were some of the people's feedback when you went there? Because I'm guessing when you go to sneaker cons and sneaker festivals and stuff like that, people are like true sneakerheads, so they wondering how did you get them, or oh man, what is that approach like when they come to you?
It's very interesting. I actually 2 of my uncles are heavily involved into my business, so I'm turned them into sneakerheads. So they usually travel with me, and it's amazing. Especially how we started off small and now we're real big. Where we're getting shoes early. We can get releases 2 to 3, 4 months before they come out.
Wow!
So it's,
That's a lot.
it gets pretty crazy. Especially for instance, SneakerCon Chicago. We actually made Sneaker News, which is a national blog, and we actually made they did a live video on their Facebook page where I believe there was over 100,000 views, 10,000 likes. It was something crazy, and we had shoes from the Gym Red 12s that don't come out until July 2nd, and this show was back in May. So we had the Gym Red 12s that didn't come out until July 2nd of this year, the Metallic 5s that come out on July 23rd, the Gold Medal 5s that don't come out till August. So a lot of people were shocked, like, how did you get these so early? Like, it's just a lot of questions because they're like, we never heard of you. We're new, now you do know us.
Right.
So it's interesting to kind of see the feedback, but it's great because it builds exposure, especially since we're known a lot locally, but now we've been able to reach that national attention. I have clients that I ship shoes from that they live in California, as far as Alaska.
Alaska?
Yes.
Wow.
Actually,
I didn't even fucking know people lived there. I thought it was all the iceberg.
Mario Chalmers from Alaska.
It's actually a sneaker community out in Alaska.
Wow.
They love to buy sneakers. I mean,
That's crazy.
it's cold most of the time, but especially in the summertime, they have nice summers, so they stock up on their shoes. We also have clients that live in China, Australia, and England, and the UK. So it's crazy, especially with social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we have a Snapchat. So we've been able to reach customers from all over the world, which has been great, and that's been building exposure, getting the name out there as well. So and with the sneaker shows too, that really puts our name out there, and people are now able to identify the brand and the logo as well.
We just keep on working, they ain't even see it's coming. I just wanna live my life and be around all my loved ones. I don't worry about the